Silence. Many college campuses have remained quiet, with little activity taking place since the pandemic took the world by storm. 1 year later, and not much has changed. One-on-one interaction has disappeared. In its place are virtual and hybrid learning models. These have now become a new way of life. Three students documented their day-to-day lives as they navigate what's known as Zoom University. Joining me today is a junior double major, liberal studies and dance, Brittany Ewing, who's now sitting down with me to bring her experiences all together on sitting in a virtual environment for just about the last year and a half. I want to ask you what this whole virtual experience has been like, not just being on campus with one-on-one interaction with your friends and your professors, but just what you feel like you've been missing out on now that you've been off campus for almost a whole academic year.
I think for me, especially since I'm a dance major, what I feel like I've missed out on is those dance concerts being in person. I know I really enjoyed filming and being a part of this recent dance concert that was actually last week. But it's just very different compared to actually performing for a live audience.
What do you feel like you've missed the most just being a student on campus besides being with friends, maybe interacting with your professors or just having an in-person class?
For me, for the on-campus part of it, I just really miss like walking around and just seeing, like, for example, like seeing you like unexpectedly, like when I'm walking around, I'm like, oh hey, like what's up, you know? And just I just miss meeting new people and human interaction for sure.
What do you feel like you've done better for yourself now that you've just adjusted to I'm doing class and I'm dancing online and I'm not in a studio. I'm now just dancing in my living room.
I've gotten really used to it, but it to me it still feels a little weird just because it's something that I've kind of gotten used to, but something that I'm sad that I have to go through because in the studio I'm so used to like moving as big as I can and dancing as full out as I could.
How do you feel like you've maintained a certain engagement into everything you've done since you've kind of been ushered into this online environment?
I think something that I've definitely learned in the online environment is managing my time because I do have like a variety of classes since I am a double major.
Where do you feel like you've not necessarily fallen off, but where do you feel like you fell off but could improve on later?
Like my sleeping schedule was a lot better before quarantine and before we had virtual learning, but I think that's something that's like affected me a little bit.
Do you feel like you've adjusted to the virtual learning environment well compared to when you started? And then if you look at yourself now?
Yes, for sure. Because I feel like when it started, I was just really sad. I feel a lot better about it because I've definitely adjusted. I've gotten so used to all this. It's just normal to me.
If there's one piece of advice you can give to an incoming student or somebody who's still trying to find their way and navigate through this whole virtual learning experience, what can you tell them?
I would definitely tell them to make sure that they manage their time and within like managing their time to make sure that they make time for themselves and but also to not slack off and not use like that time for yourself as an excuse to like get behind on work too, but also to keep in touch with your friends. I know it's hard because we're not on campus all together, and those are the things that we do enjoy, like being a part of like extracurriculars and clubs and sports and stuff. This is definitely what a typical school day is like for me. My life definitely changed when school was switched to online last spring. There are definitely pros and cons to virtual learning, but I've definitely become adjusted to it and learned to think about the positives. So I'm on my way to get my COVID test on campus. I usually make my appointments around 10:30, and I get tested weekly on Wednesdays because I do have one on-campus class, which is Ballet 3 for my dance major. So yeah. So basically I just ate my breakfast and did some homework, and now it's 1 p.m. and I have my jazz 3 class. So basically I got done with my jazz class, I ate some lunch, and then I came upstairs and did some homework, and now I have a liberal studies lecture class at 4 p.m.
Here we got Emma Fisher, junior social work major at Azusa Pacific University. What has the experience kind of been like for you not being on campus? Like, what do you feel like you've missed out on the most?
For me, I miss like my friends and a lot, and my classes, and just like um being able to like discuss like group work more easily, because like in my major we have like a lot of group projects, so sometimes like it can be hard to like find time to like meet on Zoom, and of course like I would prefer to like meet in person.
What do you feel like the the positive takeaways you can take from an experience like this?
As a social work major, it has like definitely like prepared me for a telehealth, because I feel like that's gonna become like a new like modern like type of therapy that is like used more often. So I think that it was good to like get more exposure about that.
Do you feel like with both the positives and the negatives, you're able to kind of bring everything together and adapt well to the situation at hand?
Yeah, I think so. I think at first it was hard because, it was like a very like new way of learning, which was yeah, about a year ago. But I feel like now I've become like more adapted to it, and but like I do overall feel prepared. But just like a few things are a little bit like iffy, I guess. I don't know.
And what advice can you give to somebody who's going to be entering into a situation like this or is going to be continuing in a virtual environment?
So like don't be afraid to like reach out and like ask for help fr- from these people, and then also to like take advantage of like resources from your school, like the tutoring center or like the online library, or just like um other resources available to students, because I'm sure like that would be helpful. And then also just giving yourself a break. Like just being on your computer all day is mentally exhausting, and I feel like it can cause a lack of motivation. So I'd say like taking breaks and just like going on like a walk simply, or just not having screen time. So instead of being in class, we are doing our like own individual assignment. So I guess I don't know why we went to class, but we did. So for this assignment, we had to watch a case study of like an older adult, and then we have to find services within our region. So I'm currently in Pomona right now, so I have to find a couple of like um, agencies that one that has healthcare, mental health, like a nursing home, a community organization, independent living apartments, or assisted living. But yeah, that's like a typical like social work thing, because purpose of social work is like to also like help connect our clients to resources. But yeah, so I'm gonna work on this assignment, and then we'll get ready for the gym. Hey guys, this is our post workout.
I'm dead.
We're really exhausted. We did some walking and jogging, a lot of leg stuff. We're gonna go home. We're gonna make some food and definitely take some showers. Hey, so now I'm doing some homework to close out the rest of my day. I'm doing some of my human behavior homework. So I have to do a biopsychosocial spiritual assessment on this middle schooler that I've been mentoring throughout the year. So yeah, thanks for following my whole day, and hope you have a great day too.
Joining me today, I have journalism major Iracema Navarro from California State University, Dominguez Hills. But she also kind of has an interesting perspective where she's a part of the campus newspaper known as the Bulletin, and they've been putting issues together virtually through Zoom for almost the last 3 semesters. I kind of just want to get your thoughts on how you've adapted to the virtual learning environment and where do you feel like you've struggled or kind of done better?
For the adapting part, I had to completely reorganize my room, fit a table, get a lamp, um, make sure my Wi-Fi was stronger, move in my modem and router to my room. So that those were a few. The constant movement. At first, I could not find the perfect spot in my room where I felt comfortable. That was the initial struggle for adapting here at home. And for school, I only took one online class in community college, and I did not do well because it was always in the back of my head to go ahead and do it at the last minute. But because everything went online and through Zoom, it was now you're gonna have to learn and you're gonna have to adapt and you're gonna have to succeed basically.
Do you think doing this full on transition from online and having the one class in community college prepared you better for the environment you're now currently facing?
Absolutely not, because online class before this whole pandemic was just online. Now there's actual Zoom meetings, a Zoom meeting where you have the opportunity to turn on your camera, turn on your audio, actually interact with the professor, actually interact with other students, probably even interact more than what you would have done in campus.
How are you and the staff able to adjust to go from reporting everything in person, getting to attend these events, to now just doing everything for a newspaper online without actually getting to cover any of this?
I think in the beginning was just let's give it our all, see what we can do. Let's continue what we have been doing, and if we cannot, like you said, go to these events live, all right, they're doing it online. How are we going to do it? Send a few reporters, if any can or want to go. Try to send a chat message to anyone in the event, see if they want to leave you a comment.
How have you kind of maintained the engagement through kind of everything you've been going through, both as a student going through your daily routine of a class schedule, but also trying to balance a life of a student journalist as somebody writing for the Bulletin and or maybe another news outlet, maybe like your internship?
Well, thankfully, the internship is a requirement, or if not, I don't think none of us would be doing this. And it sounds sad, but it is a requirement. I wish it was a requirement for perhaps even 2 semesters. Then it would actually like put us out there and we will engage more. Engagement through my internship has been great. My internship supervisor calls me every day. So engagement will be there, especially as a journalist. If you really want to do the job right, you will be engaging as much as you can.
What advice can you give to continuing students or even an incoming freshman who might not get the full college experience to start and might get not necessarily a full virtual model, but a
Right.
hybrid model to both start out their college career and for those continuing to kind of keep moving the path forward?
If you're a journalism student, join the newspaper. 100% join the newspaper. If you're a journalism student that doesn't have a job, full time or part time, get an internship as soon as possible. Um, if you are a part time worker, full time worker, I would suggest take advantage of your professors and your staff. They are there to help you, and some of them are pretty great. Um, so they will help you as much as they can, and There will be a connection there that you can take after college. Be social, make friends, make the connection. Know that you have sources after you graduate. Enjoy college as much as you can. Join the newspaper again, join the newspaper, get a byline, get another byline, get another byline. Prosper after that.
All in all, students have made sacrifices to adjust to this new way of learning. With vaccinations on the horizon and most campuses set to reopen this fall, there is a light at the end of the tunnel.